Hello everyone. I am so tired of people giving poor PC advice on Twitch and Mixer. This is mostly from people who think they know PCs when in reality they don't. It would take me too long to go through every single mistake they make, so I'm just going to focus on one of the important topics for now, that is motherboards. This list here from NNTech is a perfect example for talking about features. You'll notice that there's 10 gigabit Ethernet, 5 gigabit Ethernet, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, integrated Wi-Fi, CNVI, 3 or more M2 ports, 4 more USB ports, and the list goes on. The gigabit Ethernet part doesn't really matter, as you can always buy a network interface card later on if you need to, but the other stuff does matter depending on what the person needs. If they're trying to do multiple M2 SSDs, then you would be looking at that. If they have a lot of USB connections, you'd be looking at this. As you can see, there is a lot of thought process that goes into just the feature end. Let's go ahead and look at the overclocking end. When it comes to the overclocking side, you're going to be looking at VRM, power management, and that kind of stuff. That will require a lot more reading and research. In a Google search, I found all these posts and other things in just a matter of maybe 10 to 15 minutes. It didn't take too terribly long, and I was able to get the information that I needed. Okay, so at the bottom of this post, kind of towards the middle of this entire thread, you'll see this comment: to the great mid-range in the Aorus Pro and Elite. I can verify the Aorus Pro and Elite by looking up a review. I found this review by TechSpot. You'll notice towards the bottom it says, we've tested out both boards in-house and the VRM thermal performance is exceptional, beating $300 plus models from Asus. VRM is important. And look at this. I found what is needed just by Google searching. I should never see a PC builder recommend a motherboard without some sort of evidence to back it up, whether that be a review, benchmark, or something. If you can't give me that, then I will assume you're an idiot, for good reason. That's just the Intel end. Now let's go to AMD, as AMD is a little bit more complicated than Intel. In this Linus Tech Tips thread, there is a post kind of down here, and you'll notice that it says Asus TUF B450M Plus and MSI B450M Bazooka. I consider them decent options for quad-core CPUs, but not for Ryzen 7. Overclock Ryzen 7 on them, and the VRMs overheat. I do know for a fact that the MSI B450M Bazooka can handle a Ryzen 7 when it isn't overclocked. But yes, if you are going to overclock a 2700X, for example, then you would need a different motherboard. So we're going to swing over to these posts. You can see I found this pretty quickly doing my Google search. I found this as well. But more importantly, here's the review. You'll notice right here, the comment says, the VRM is similar. Both the Gigabyte and MSI boards pack a 4+2 design with a doubler, and this provides plenty of power delivery even for an overclocked Ryzen 7 2700X. Again, another motherboard, $200 or less, is good enough for overclocking. I should never see a motherboard more than $200 unless it's for a very specific reason. If you have a specific reason for it, you have better be prepared to explain. If you are unable to explain, then you're just giving me more reason to doubt your advice. I may not be an IT person, with a degree and all that, but I do have 18 years of PC building experience with various certifications. In reality, that doesn't matter because of the fact that all this information is provided online. PC building these days is more about reading than it is actual knowledge, for the most part. Knowledge does help when reading these articles or trying to learn something new, but beyond that, it's mostly reading, because these reviews are telling you what you need. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up by talking about budget. If the person you're building for doesn't need overclocking or all these crazy features, look for a budget motherboard. There's absolutely no need to spend that much money. This right here is one of the Intel motherboards that I see pop up in the reviews for budget. For AMD, it's the X470 Gaming Plus or the B450M Bazooka. Either one of these is going to be in reviews usually. There is a big difference between the X470 and the B450M. This is the one time that I can understand an upgrade in a budget motherboard. The X470 is an ATX, whereas the B450M is a micro ATX. This has more expansion slots and 2 more PCIe lanes. That's the difference between an X470 and a B450M, is 2 PCIe lanes. So, but yeah, again, it just depends on what the person needs. And look at this. In just 6 minutes, I have already deconstructed most of the advice given on Twitch and Mixer. On Twitch and Mixer, they usually just throw out an opinion, but don't really back it up with benchmarks, reviews, or that kind of stuff. So, you know, actually, I want to say one more thing here. This is more than just teaching people. This recording is also a plea. Do the work as a PC builder. When somebody comes to you for a PC part list, they are either looking for a second opinion or they don't know. I feel that it is a betrayal of that trust if you half-ass your work. By half-ass, I mean not giving any of this to that person. You should be prepared to have reviews on hand, benchmarks or otherwise. That to me is a good PC builder. You should also be ready to defend your position. PC builders like me understand this stuff. I will tear you apart if I detect that you are unable to provide a good reason for your list. That's the most I have to say. Thanks for listening.